Good day, everyone. Today I will be reading a story entitled Field Day Champion, and this story has been written by Kelly Hashway. Now, while I read, I want you to think very carefully about what is happening in the story. I want you to think about the individuals who are involved in the story. I want you also to think about what is happening as it regards the problem that they face. And I also want you to think about how this problem was solved. Finally, think about the lesson you can learn from this story. Now, let us begin. Andy smiled as he and his field team stepped up to their last activity. They were in first place, and Andy could already feel the medal around his neck. "How exciting," said Mrs. Emery. "You two teams are tied with the highest score of the day." "Tied?" Andy said. "But we beat them at the relay race." "Yes, but that was their only loss," Mrs. Emery said. "Your team also has one loss, so you are both tied for first place." Andy crossed his arms in front of his chest. He didn't want to think about the balloon toss. He'd been the first one to drop his balloon. "This event is a hula hoop challenge," Mrs. Emery said, handing everyone a hula hoop. "Are we supposed to see how far we can roll them?" Andy asked. "No, your challenge is to hula hoop for as long as possible. Once your hoop hits the ground, you will be disqualified. The last person hula hooping will win the event for their team." Andy's eyes widened. He'd never hula hooped before. He looked at the rest of the team. Becky seemed confident, and so did Corey. They only needed one person to do well in order to win. "Can we start?" asked Rachel, the other team's captain. She must have done this before, because she was excited about the challenge. Mrs. Emery blew the whistle. "Begin!" Andy watched Rachel and mimicked everything she did. But no matter how hard he tried, the hoop wouldn't stay up. It bubbled and fell to his ankles. He stepped aside and cheered for Becky and Corey, who were the only ones left to battle Rachel. Becky sneezed, and her hoop toppled to the ground. Andy grumbled, but he started cheering even louder for Corey. Andy stared at Rachel. She looked so relaxed as the hoop twirled around her. Her team was chanting her name, and it took Andy a moment to realize Corey had dropped his hoop. The challenge was over, and Rachel had won, which meant Andy's team had lost. But Andy couldn't help cheering for Rachel as she continued to hula hoop. Rachel was still hula hooping when Mrs. Emery gave out the medals. Andy wore his second place medal with pride as he congratulated Rachel, the true field day champion. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed.